Hey, what's going on, Capricorns? Butch here. I am going to do your December read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. I'm going to use the Tarot of Dreams. And happy birthday to all y'all December Capricorns. And the January ones, too. With all that being said, let's get it. Here's what we have, Capricorns, for December 2022. All right, Capricorns. So the first thing that I see, Capricorns, is I feel like we got through some difficult times lately. You know, I do feel like your energy is a very free feeling to your energy. I feel like you freed yourself from a connection that really wasn't working for you. You know, someone that didn't really show up for you, and I feel like you were doing most of the work. And I feel like it almost felt like it was a parent taking care of a child type of relationship. It wasn't a partnership. But I feel like you recently walked away from that. And I do feel like there was a lot of internal struggle with that decision. And I feel like it was mostly based on the fact that, you know, I do feel like you cared for this person, but I feel like you knew what was best for you. You know, sometimes I like to use a metaphor that some relationships are like old jeans. Just because they still fit, just because they're still comfortable, doesn't mean we should be wearing them. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we get caught in a comfortable situation, a situation that we know and we can control, and it's very hard sometimes to leave that, especially when there is feelings involved. But you know, I do feel like it's the first step of some really big changes that are happening for you. You know, I do see someone new coming in for you. And I feel like with this person, I feel a huge release from you. You know, a release from anxiety, a release some tension. You know, I do feel like with this new person coming in, I feel like it's going to be a very fiery connection. You know, we do have very passionate energy from this person with that King of Wands, you know, that masculine fire energy. Very passionate, but also very stable. You know, someone that's passionate, but they have their shit together. You know, it's a very good combination right there with that King of Pentacles and that King of Wands. You know, someone that likes to have fun, but also knows how to put in the work when that needs to be done. Someone that's like, it's like the best of both worlds. You know, with this person, I feel like from very early on, seeing there's a very, you know, you're both on the same page. And I feel like with this person, not only are you on the same page, not only does this person have their shit together, but I also see some new stability from this. You know, something that I don't feel like you've experienced very much of lately. And I feel like it's a whole different ballgame with this person as well. Seeing relationships in a different perspective. Sometimes when we get caught in a bad relationship for a long period of time, it's almost like we use that as a comparison. But with this, there's no comparison. a completely different outlook when it comes to this new person coming in. Now, it's like that ripple effect, that devil card, that freeing yourself from that cage. It opens up so many more doors. They always say when one door closes, another door opens, but I feel like in this case, one door closed and multiple doors opened. You know what I mean? I feel like just that release of tension and that release of anxiety. I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming for you coming up in December. We have the Sun card. I feel like with this person coming in, like I said, very passionate, but they also very giving. This is the type of person that you don't have to ask twice when you need something. And not that I feel like you're going to be asking for a whole lot, but like I said, this is the type of person that will give you the shirt off their back if it helps you out. And I feel like that's also something very different than what you've been used to as of late. Now with this person, I don't feel like this is going to jump really quickly into something really, really serious. I feel like it's going to take its time. I feel like there is that establishment of trust. I feel like this person wants to be trusted and they want you to trust, they want to trust you. And I feel like it's going to be a slow and steady, but it's always going to be moving forward. We're starting off with baby steps. Now, this is someone that will show up for you. And I feel like that's another thing that we're dealing with this person that's very different from what you've been used to as of late. Someone that puts in the work, someone that pulls their weight. Now, I'm not saying this isn't going to go to something, more serious. I just don't feel like it's going to go there very quickly. But I do feel like we're eventually going to get there with this because I do have the Hierophant, the Faith card in this deck. I do see a strong union coming, and I do see the foundation being built from the very beginning. And I feel like that foundation is going to be built on trust. And that's why trust is so important in this. And I feel like your guard is going to be up a little bit. And I feel like as well as this person, but that's where the slow and steady comes in place. Getting to know each other, understanding each other, knowing your wants and your needs. But this person is going to be very observant of that. They're going to want to get to know you. But like I said, I don't want to make you think that this isn't going anywhere because I do see it going somewhere. I do see a lot of nurturing energy. I do see a serious, relationship coming out of it, but I feel like it's going to take time. I feel like with this person, I feel like they kind of maybe been down the same road as you've been. I feel like the last relationship or two for this person hasn't been quite that kind. But I feel like sometimes what we don't really see is we have to look at it in the perspective that, just because, sometimes we get in bad relationships. Sometimes we have our guard up a little bit for the next relationship. But like I said, I feel like this person's going to change your perspective on how relationships really work. Sometimes we get caught so long in a bad one that we start to think, is this how it really works? But like I said, I do feel like this is going to come, it is going to show you a different perspective with that Hangman. Like I said, I see a very strong friendship. That's where this starts. I do feel like not only is there a lot of emotional connection coming with this, but I feel like it starts off more. I do feel like when I said the release of tension, I do feel like there is a physical aspect to this connection, but I feel like there's much more underlining here. I feel like not only is there that physical aspect of this, but I feel like it's almost like a friendship where you get a real chance to see who someone is. And that's what I mean by taking it slow. I feel like we are going to start in more of a friend zone, but that's not where either one of you see this going. I do see a lot of potential here, and I see that you both see it coming. Like I said, we're starting that foundation. I feel like with this person, one of the the main things that I do see that really, gets your attention is the fact that this person finds it very easy to communicate with you. You don't have to do any guesswork with this person. And I feel like that's going to be very, a very welcomed addition along with all the other things like I mentioned. Like I said, it's not going to move quickly, but it is moving forward. But while we're waiting for it to move forward, I do feel like that there's, like I said, the strong physical aspect. I feel like, I think I've used this way too many times in Virgo reading or in Capricorn readings. Sorry, but I feel like I've used this way too many times. But I'm going to use it again right here. It's like, people say you can't have your cake and eat it too, which I never really got, because if you got a cake in front of you, why can't you eat it? And that's what I see with this connection. I feel like, there is that strong physical sense. There is that release. And you know what I'm talking about. I do feel a release of tension. We're all adults here. But there's something more than that. And that's what I want you to focus on with this. There's new stability, being on the same page, working toward the same common goals. It's night and day when you're with someone that actually shows up for you. It's night and day when somebody actually puts in the work, especially when you've been in a situation where you're the one putting in all the work for so long. It's nice to be with someone that actually shows up for you. They show up for you. They don't show up for them. That's important. And like I said, I do see a lot of forward movement with this person. I do feel like I said, I feel like they want, and they need someone in their life, to build with, someone to have that legacy. And we have that family card. Like, this person isn't looking for a one-night stand. They're not looking for, a part-time companion. This person is done with the bullshit. They're done with the games. And I feel like their perspective, along with your perspective, is going to change on relationships. Like I said, I don't feel like they've necessarily had the best run lately. But like I said before, with all relationships, we have to, it's all about learning. Even the worst relationships in the world, you've learned something. And if you take that and move forward, you're better off for it. Sometimes we're in relationships where, we get abused or cheated on or, taken advantage of or taken for granted. All those things, we learn something from it. Like I said before, I honestly believe there's three main loves in your life. There's that first love, which is usually the puppy love. There's a second love, which is usually the most painful. And then the third one is the most important. That's the one you're going to hold on to. That's the one that's going to probably catch, most times catches you off guard. And it's like a breath of fresh air. And like I said, with that Nine of Swords in reverse, is a release of tension, a release of that anxiety. It's night and day when you're with someone that brings something to the table. It's one thing that, I'm a Sagittarius, so perspective is I'm all about perspective. When you're in a really bad relationship, where it took and took and took from you, it makes the good ones that much better. And that's the things we got to learn. And sometimes we learn the hard lessons, and they're not fun. But as long as we take something away from it, it's productive. With this person, like I said, I see a lot of balance. I see a lot of happiness. And all this is coming in for you. Like I said, a lot of forward movement. This person is loyal. They're honest. They know what they want. And like I said, we have that power couple as well, which is the biggest thing that I see in this is two people on the same page. Two people working together, side by side. Not one carrying the other, the other one carrying, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we get caught in those relationships, and it happens to the best of us. We get caught in these relationships where we feel like we're carrying the person. Like I said in the beginning, it's like that parenting relationship, I call it. When you're with someone that just doesn't know how to grow up. You're with someone that doesn't show up for you, but they always expect you to show up for them. You know, it might be a bad metaphor, but that's what I consider it, is a parenting relationship. Now with this, we have Gemini, we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You know, we have Pisces and Scorpio, some Cancer in there, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Like I said, from this, I feel like you're going to get what you want. You know, it's all face value with this relationship, and a lot of people don't appreciate face value relationships. You know, but I think that you will enjoy this. I think that, you know, you deserve this. And like I said, it's not going to move quickly, but it's going to move steadily. You know, with that Knight of Pentacles, it's a slow-moving energy. You know, neither one of you is looking to jump into something serious without knowing, you know, what you're jumping into. But like I said, there's a physical aspect of this, which you're going to enjoy. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun, but there's also something more underlining with this. You know, this goes much deeper than what you first see. You know, this person, like I said, is a breath of fresh air. You know, somebody coming in and being about you and not just about themselves. But it's December. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I mean, I'll see you before then, but have a Merry Christmas. If you know, whatever you celebrate, happy holidays. My wish for you is that, you know, you find yourself surrounded by people that care about you and people that you care about. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're safe. Take care. Be good. See you soon.